interconnected society for the goal of moderate Islam. We often say moderate Islam because of moderate Islam. So I would like to suggest to keep your curiosity and enthusiasm like the one that has been mentioned earlier, cryptocurrencies, millennial share, digital dakwah, online fatwas, and so on and so on. And number of publications coming out from this conference. Just this morning I have talked to from a Springer publisher about the possibility to have a co-edited volume coming out with us to work together and to prepare something like a digital Islam education and youth. So next Aicis, we plan to organize in 2020 in Bengkulu. Yeah. So this is about we now have a permanent website, Aicis, so it is easier for all of us. I, of course, expect your next year event, and we are very much expect your ideas on what topics or panels that we're gonna organize for the next conference. Do send us email, and whatever you have in mind, please let us know so that we can improve our event next year in Bengkulu. Let me extend my gratitude to all speakers from overseas. P3nutupan, thank you so much for your time coming all the way from the United States to Indonesia. It's not easy to travel, especially only for a couple of days. You will have a jet lag, and then when you return, you also have another jet lag. So thank you for your time coming to Indonesia. Also other speakers, Gary Van and Pam Alan Hayes, and many others whom I cannot mention. Some from Singapore, like Kamaluddin. Also our colleague from Australia, Dr. Eva, and all presenters, all chairs. Thank you so much for your participation and to make this conference successful. And last but not least, my big thanks go to steering committee, Dr. Heidi as a head of a steering committee and organizing committee. Without your support, without your assistance, I'm sure this event will not be as successful as like this now. So to all speakers from home country and from overseas, I would like to say have a safe travel home and keep discussion with your peers and colleagues at your own institution alive. Now, I would like to say to recite Alhamdulillah. Let us close this 2019 Aicis conference, and I will use this hammer to officially close it. And as suggested by Pak Mamat, to launch the Media Network for Islamic Moderation, hereby I officially launch the Media Network for Islamic Moderation, which comprises of all human relations officers from different Islamic higher education all over Indonesia. So again, thank you so much, and I should end now. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oke, terima kasih. Sebelum ditutup oleh saya dan saya kembalikan kepada Mr. Rofi, please, if I said Aicis 2019, replay please Digital Islam Education and Youth. Oke? Oke. Aicis 2019. Makan kedong-dong, makan opak. Buah kedong-dong makan opak, yang kompak dong, kebalik ya. Saya masih nervous nih Pak. Oke, sekali lagi yang kompak ya. Aicis 2019. Oke, kurang kompak sekali lagi. Aicis 2019. Sekali lagi, Aicis 2019. Digital Islam Education and Youth. Oke, tepuk tangan untuk kita semua. Sebelum nanti ada penampilan-penampilan, saya kembalikan dulu kepada Mr. Rofi. Terima kasih. Thanks for attention.
Mbak Pika, saya tahu kan ngerjain Mbak Pika malam ini. Okay, before I give the opportunity, the stage to Satya Ma'ruf, let me tell you one thing. I have a story. But I might say it in Indonesia. One of my friends here, when I finished my PhD in the States, 2014, I called one of my friends in Germany. He's here, Dr. Shafiq Hashim, and I told him that if or not. So for me, it's just say, just after I have my defense. And he said, wait until tomorrow morning. You know the difference between PhD and non-PhD. And in the early morning when I woke up, and I realized that I'm really a PhD student. It is after 7 years, the first time I get up without thinking of any chapter of my dissertation. So the 3 days has been a kind of nightmare for some of you. I know when you get up, what kind of paper that I will present today. You cannot sleep well. But I promise you to have another nightmare, and let me invite Satya Ma'ruf, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. One more time please. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me to be here in this international conference. So international that it feels like winter over here. It's been amazingly cold. I thought, wow, what will climate change activists say? How dare you? Thank you so much for the opportunity. I was introduced yesterday as a stand-up comedian, so I'm here to prove myself. And I mean, I wish at this moment that I'm an academic so that I can have slides and quotations, so so that I don't have to be so open about my opinion. You know, I can hide behind somebody else's words. You know, yay, academics. Yes, I'm so excited to be here. Too excited. I even get a haircut. Seriously, I mean, you can totally tell, right? Right? Yes, I get a haircut. I mean, this is a special occasion. I even shave my legs. You know? Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, getting a haircut, seriously, getting a haircut for a Muslim woman is such a torture. Such a torture that I decided to get married. So that at least I can show it to someone, you know, without realizing that it takes at least 10 years to teach men to appreciate their wife's haircut. But I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate. My husband is very kind. My husband is very kind. So I got a new haircut, and one night he complimented my new haircut after almost a week, and the next thing I know, I got pregnant. You know, and ladies and gentlemen, speaking of husband and wife, you're missing your family already, I know. Yes, speaking of husband and wife, my husband and I, we got married at quite mature age. So I was 34 when we got married, and he was 40. So it's not, well, it's not a very hot age, you know. And so we should do something. Like, we should do something to keep our marriage exciting, right? And so I pretend that he's filthy rich, and he pretends that I'm his second wife, so. A Muslim privilege. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking about digital Islam's education's youth. The conference, it's been an amazing discussion and amazing conversations. Now, if I may add, a couple of news reporting from the so-called Muslim world. Nike has just launched Nike Pro Hijab. If you've ever heard of that product, proven to be super comfortable for Muslims, female athletes, and those running away from oppressive regimes and or husband. Dolce and Gabbana, not only Nike, Dolce and Gabbana also launched a modest fashion line. Can you imagine? Dolce and Gabbana also launched a Muslim modest fashion line proven to be extremely effective to make polygamy unaffordable. Like, can you imagine having 4 wives and have to dress them in Dolce and Gabbana? It's like, wow, right? How much will it cost? Another news. Saudi Arabia. I'm sure that you have heard of this. Saudi Arabia finally allowed women to drive. Yes? You've heard of this? You know the reason why? Because hiring Indonesian and or Filipino drivers is getting more expensive, and somebody needs to take the kids to school. Practical reason. Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, let me brag a little bit, right? So end of last year, November 2018, I was included in BBC's 100 Women's list. Yes! Woohoo! Which makes me, I don't know, 1,726 in the line to replace Malala, calling in sick. Yes, I mean, Western media loves Muslim women, right? Especially those who speak up, you know. Oh, here's our Western allies. Amazing. I've been invited to conferences, you know, getting very special treatment and stuff, you know, and also getting very special questions. Every time I went to, well, not every time, sometimes when I go to conferences, I always get these type of questions. Oh, you're a Muslim woman from Indonesia. Life must be hard out there. Yes, it's hard. We're having a hard time deciding which beach we're going to go to. Yes, and it's always hard to, I don't know, ask permission from your father to kiss your boyfriend. Always hard. I did in the past before I got married. I did kiss my boyfriend. I did. Via text message. Yeah, like 2-3 kisses per text message. You know, I believe that's called ta'aruf. Yes? Yeah, so that's the way you kiss your boyfriend. Oh. Yes, so it's interesting, and I receive many other questions like, oh, you're wearing this all the time, but you're coming from tropical country, isn't that hot? Oh, this one comes with air conditioning, darling. Do you want to invest? Highly innovative. I receive other types of questions like, I don't know, you know, this is a country of freedom, and you are not with your husband or your father. Why don't you take it off? I received that comment, and I said, well, I'm here with God. Not with my father or my husband. Yes, and another question that I received, and this is interesting, true story, I received this question. Oh, and I'm sure that many of you also are familiar with this. Oh, you have such a good English. I don't know, CNN, MTV, colonialism, right? Why not blame, I don't know, Queen of England once in a while? Like, thank you for everyone's English. Right? And I received also one last question that I would like to share with all of you. If a gentleman caught you without your hijab, do you have to marry him? I'm like, not if he's academics. I want everything that he said to be sincere without quotation. You know, you receive those type of questions when you're traveling. It's interesting. Traveling also teach me a lot about how people see one another. For the very first time in my life, when I was in Europe with my colleague, a fellow Muslim as well, I saw many fellow Muslims who are refugees, and they're on the streets. Some of them are begging for money, some of them selling newspapers, and my colleague, with all the privilege that she has, said, oh, they're like on the street begging for money. Such an embarrassment to Islam. I'm like, ew! What a perspective. It's almost like, I mean, to have that perspective, you know, seeing refugees and saying that, oh, they're such an embarrassment to Islam just because they beg for money. You know, it's almost like you're blaming the chicken because KFCs give you food poisoning. You know? And it's like, it's happening across the world. We are blaming the chicken because KFC gives us food poisoning. Happening around the world. And it's happening for too long that Turkey starts to feel guilty as well. Like, oh my God, I look a little bit like a chicken. Will they consider me as a chicken? Will they treat me like I'm a chicken? Will they discriminate me like I'm a chicken? You know, I mean, I could learn to cross the street and be one of those jokes, you know, why the chicken crossed the street? To escape oppression. Right, so it's happening around the world. What is happening around the world as well is women's movement around the world. Yes, applaud women! Yes, it's happening around the world. Women have their hashtag #MeToo. You're familiar with this hashtag, right? Women have this hashtag #MeToo. Men also have their hashtag I did not see it coming, you know, and it pisses off men so much that they cannot get away with things anymore. It's like they ask me, oh, so if I'm catcalling women or harassing them or molesting them, it's my mind, not their clothes? It's always been your mind, not their clothes. Thank you very much. I mean, you are the one, you are the one that said men are more rational and women are more emotional, right? So it's your mind. You said that you're the one who's more rational. Us, we're more emotional, especially picking out dress during New Year's sale. Are you kidding me? It's like, you know, it's happening around the world. Gender equality is trending around the world. That radical organization start to promote that to recruit women. I mean, I don't know what they say to attract women. And perhaps they say something like, I don't know, you want equality, huh, women? Let's join us. Blow yourself out. Guarantee that you will lose your weight by 100%. And I think, is that what they... Amazing. So, this is not a lecture. You can laugh. Now I begin to doubt myself. Am I not funny, or half of this room don't speak English? Or it's already too late in the evening, perhaps. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me share with you a little bit of personal experience. I was born and raised in a conservative Muslim community in Pekalongan, Central Java. So that's where I'm from. And restrictions against women is amazing. So women and girls, they're getting married at very young age, like 15, 16, even today, like 2019, it's still happening. It's still happening in my community. I mean, it's unfortunate that most of them are ultra pretty and super rich. Like they can afford to go to school abroad without scholarship. And I'm very fortunate that my parents support my education. And I learned that I'm neither pretty nor rich, so I need to go to school. My parents said that I have to at least have brain as my last, although least preferable assets. And so, yes, I'm very fortunate that my parents, especially my dad, supports my education with so many conditions. I wish I have a lawyer to help me negotiate. Seriously, like I can go to school, I can go to college, but I'm not supposed to go out after class. I'm not supposed to speak up. I'm not supposed to join any student organization. Most importantly, I am not supposed to get to know anyone from the opposite sex. Like I was surprised. Well, Dad, I didn't know that you're such a great supporter of lesbianism. Very progressive of you. It's amazing, you know. And in college, I thought that free, but in college I witnessed for the very first time, and I'm sure that you're familiar with this as well, separations between men and women in public forums, seminars, lectures, right? I mean, I'm amazed. I came from a conservative community. Even in my community, there's no such thing as separation between men and women in public forums, seminars, or lecture. Women just don't go to public forums, seminars, or lectures. Like, they're not allowed to. And so, yes, and for the very first time, I thought, and I saw some positive stuffs as well. For instance, you're not supposed to shake hands. I mean, as women, you're not supposed to shake hands with men. I mean, I don't think that is a sign of conservatism. I think that is hygiene awareness, my friend. Yes. Hygiene awareness. I mean, I don't want to shake hands with college boys. Ew. You know, you don't know where their head's been. You don't even know if they wash it or not. Right? And so, and for the very first time in college, some of my friends are wearing niqab, burqa even. Yeah? No, that's not a sign of oppression. That's a sign of awareness of climate change and pollution. You know, are you kidding me? Like, why think badly of them? Right? You academics. Why? You know, it's been amazing. I mean, my family, from where I come from, we're so conservative that I have to tell you, this is a true story. One of my neighbors was convicted because he participated, or as distant collaborator, this is true story, as distant collaborator of Bali bombing 2. Seriously, one of my neighbors was convicted as distant collaborator of Bali bombing 2, and he was all over in the news. And I was surprised. I was shocked. I'm not the only one that get all the publicity. Oh my God. I am not the only one in my neighborhood that is on international news. I mean, terrorists are so selfish. I'm not thinking about the victims, I'm thinking about me. Doesn't he know how hard it is to be like semi-famous? And now he has to steal my thunder? Wow, so selfish. At least he could tell me first, and then I would be the one breaking the news. So that journalists still interview me, you know? I enjoy publicity sometimes. Yes, finally, we're talking about how we're worried about conservatism, radicalisms, etc. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, us in Indonesia, we have the solution. We have the solution. Yes, we do. At least according to me, Indonesian jihadists should stop using guns because it's too American. And I don't know, start using local weapon, bambu runcing perhaps. This will definitely earn them a better image among environmentalists, because then they can brand their action as eco-terrorism. We hate you, but we love the environment. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Congratulations on the success of the conference. Thank you very much for having me. It's been a great pleasure. Good night. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Sadia. Okay. Thank you, Sadia. So So I don't want to bring your happiness with Sadia, and just we are coming to the end of our program. Thank you for all the speakers. Thank you for the Ministry of Religious Affairs. Thank you for all the steering committee, organizing committee, and all participants and speakers. And let's close our program by saying Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin. See you next year in Bengkulu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.